Okay, so now what I want to do, let's put a rig in the leg. So, here, let's just get the hypergraph open for a second here. Okay. Actually, I see some stuff here. Maybe I should do just a quick cleanup here. File, optimize scene size. Okay. Get rid of some of those nodes. No, that's interesting. What are those? Oh, there's some history on some of my pieces here. So I'm just going to quickly go in and edit and delete all by type non-deformer history. There, I got rid of that. Okay, that cleaned that up. Now I'm not so worried. Okay, and pants, shirt, shoes, arm. Where is my head? It's over here. I'm just going to go and group that stuff. I should have been keeping this clean earlier. Side. Looks like there's another camera in here. I might have created that by accident. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of that. Let's call this Geo Group. Okay. Okay, good enough. I'll just move this over here. Actually, I'll do one more organization. Just going to grab the root here, and I'm just going to group that as well. So I hit Control G, and I'll just call that skeleton underscore group. Okay, and so the leg rig. Let's move this over a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go zipping into skeleton. I'm going to go to the create IK handle tool. I'm going to put on sticky. Okay, and let's go and just do one leg at a time. This one, so I'm clicking on the hip, then I click on the ankle. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use that tool again. So I'm grabbing it from over here this time. IK handle from the ankle to the ball of the foot. And then I'm going to do it again from the toe, or the ball of the foot to the toe. Let's just quickly name these. And so I'll call this like toe IK. And this one here is going to be the ball IK. Okay, and that one there is going to be the ankle IK. Okay. And first thing I want to do is I'm just going to parent the toe IK to the ball IK. So I just middle clicked and dragged and dropped. Okay, so that means when I grab the ball IK, I get a toe wiggle out of it. There's a little bit of a weighting issue in there, but I'm going to ignore that for now. Then what I want to do is I'm going to grab the ankle IK. I'm just going to grab my geometry here and just going to hit the up arrow. So I grab the geo group and I'm going to put that onto a layer. And more organization. Geo underscore layer. There. And I'll hit solve. Done. And then I can hide it while I'm doing this stuff. Grab the ankle IK. It's sitting right here. I'm going to take that and I'm going to group it. And I just hit Control G and I'm going to hit D and V and I'm going to pop it right there. Boop, 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 boop. So that makes me so I can do that kind of movement with my ankle. I can do my heel lift. And I'm going to call that heel lift underscore group. There we go. And then next thing I want to do is I'm going to take the heel lift group and the ball IK and I'm going to group those. And I'm going to take that group and I'm going to hold down D and V and I'm going to middle click, pop it there. And that's going to be my toe control underscore group. Great. Okay. And then I'm going to do it again, Control G, and I'm going to hold down D and V, middle click, pop it there. And this one is going to be my ball swivel underscore group. Okay, everything's cool. Great. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to group it again. And I'm going to keep this relatively simple. There's a couple of other groups I can put in here, but I think this one I'm going to keep it kind of simple. There. And I've put it there. If I hold down D, I can maybe move it a bit forward if I want to. Great. And that's group. That is the heel control underscore group. I can't remember if I came up with another word for that, like heel something else group. But basically, it either does this with my foot, or it'll do this. Okay. And typically, you won't do this with this thing here. That's when I would have some other groups in there for that, for banking. But that should be good. And then the final one, need one more group, Control G, DV, boop, pop it there. And I'm going to call that foot group. Underscore group. Okay, great. And so now I've got all the groups in place. I need to make some kind of controller. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Create Polygon Primitives, Cube. And here, let's just hit F, and we'll take a look at this thing. Let's hit 4 so we can see it in wireframe. And usually what I like is like some kind of really interesting object. You can use anything you want. You can use NURB circles, but I just trying to make something different. If I go here to Create CV Curve Tool, EP Curve Tool, one linear. If I hold down V, I can snap to points on the polygon. And I will end up making a curve out of this. It's nice if everything, all your controllers are curves, because then that means that you can use pick masks or selection masks so that you're only selecting curves if you want to when you're doing things later on. I'm just going to hit 5, and you'll see that if I use the move tool, there's my curve, there's the original box that I made. I'm just going to delete that. If I want to make one of these things over again, I can actually make this into a quick tool. I can go zipping over here to the script editor, and I'll see that there's the information right there. It says like curve. Just click and I drag like that. I go File, Save Script to Shelf, and I'll call that one CBox. Okay, save it as a mail script. Okay, done. And let's just zoom out. This thing's really, really small. Let's make it bigger. And I'm going to hold down V. Doop, there. And let's just make it kind of sit around the geometry so it's easy to select. Like this might be okay to select, but let's just zip over here. And I'll grab it by the control vertices and I'll kind of move them here. Okay, something like that. And then this one. Actually, this one here should go out here someplace. So it looks kind of shoey. And maybe I'll hold down X and I'll make it look like it's sitting right on the grid, like the shoe should be. Maybe at some point I'll fix that. And what else do I want to do? I'll grab this. Actually, I'm just going to grab this one. I'm going to pull this out a bit and maybe back a bit. And there, it helps me identify that that is the left shoe. Okay, cool. I'm just going to go in and freeze the transformations. There's no history on this. I'm going to call this foot underscore control. Okay. Now, I need one more control in here. Let's go to the side view again. And I'm going to get myself a knee control. And this time I'm just going to use the CV curve tool. And I'll make something that looks like this. Nothing special there. And I'll call this knee underscore control. Great. And I'm just going to center my pivot. And let's hide my geometry. Let's go back over to perspective. I'm just going to hold down V. Boop, boop, there. And then I usually kind of make sure it's in front of the foot, front of the knee, forward, and down. I'll just freeze the transformations, kill the history. And this control, I want that to control the ankle here. So if I select the knee control, let's try it again. Knee control, grab that ankle IK. And if I go to constrain, hit it with a pull vector, boop, there. So now this controls where my knee is pointing. Okay, that's cool. And what else do I have here? The foot control. If I grab the foot control and I grab the foot group, I can go in here and constrain, and I'll hit it with a parent constraint. So now whenever I grab the foot control, it's going to move my whole foot around. You kind of see that this is left behind. I'm going to take this thing and I'm going to parent it to the foot group. P. I just hit P on my keyboard. I didn't P on my keyboard. I just hit P. And now when I go and I rotate this, I have control over the foot. So I have pretty good control. There's like a nice kind of solid foot rig. Okay, but then I want these extra little doodads. So what I'm going to do is I got the foot control selected. I'm going to go here to edit and I'm going to hit add attribute. And in the add attribute, you can also get that from under modify, add attributes. There's two different places to get it, but I'm going to go in here and I'm going to call this first one here called toe wiggle. Okay, so this is the easy one, and I'll just use the default 0. Okay, so now I got a new channel with a name. And what I want it to do is I want that to go in and rotate the ball IK on its x-axis. Here, and I'll put the geometry in because it's easier to see what the hell I'm doing when there's geometry in. Toe wiggle! And I'm going to go zipping into Windows General Editors. I'm going to use the connection editor. And what I got the ball IK selected. I'm going to grab the foot control, reload it here, and always they show up here at the bottom. Okay. Whenever you make a custom control, it always shows up at the very bottom. I go to the ball IK, I go and I load that up, and I start looking around for the rotate. There it is. Grayed out. I got to open it, and there's rotate X. This is connected. I go and I grab the foot control, check out the toe wiggle. There, so I don't have to go in here and grab that IK handle. Okay, one done. Then, what would I like to do? I can do some kind of like ball swivel on here too. I could grab the foot control, edit, add attribute. We'll call this ball swivel. Okay, hit OK. And I'll go back and I'll have nothing selected. I'll go to Windows, General Editors, Connection Editor, and I've got it here. Select it, reload that side, and down here there's ball swivel, and that's going to be the ball swivel group. And I load it here. Look for rotate, and it's going to be a rotate Y. And so now, when I take this thing and I select it and I grab the ball swivel, it rotates and it puts out my cigarettes, because Greta's smoking cigarettes all the time. Okay. And what else do I have in here that's interesting? So the final one that I'm going to do, there's a few more I could do in here. Actually, let's do one more of these simple ones that you might need. I don't want that. I'll go in here and I'll add an attribute, and I'll call this one heel swivel. Okay, and you notice that I have no spaces in my names, but I have a capital S here. When I hit OK, it does go over here and it gives me a little space, and it's part of the way that it just displays things. And you'll see it doesn't show up here. I have to reload it, and then it'll show up here at the bottom. Heel swivel. If we go to the heel control group, load that in. Rotate Y, boop, there. I'm just going to close this up and we'll check it out. Does it work? I should have kept it open while I was checking out to see if it works, but I already kind of know that it should work. Great. Now, the hard one. The hard one is the foot roll. I'm going to go in here to edit, and I'm going to go to add attribute. I'm going to call this one foot roll. And I'm going to give it a minimum value of -10. Maximum value of 10, default of 0, and I'll hit OK. Okay, what I want this to do is I want that to control the heel lift group, and it's also going to control part of the heel control group. So if I go in here to edit, oh, I don't see anything. I've got the heel lift group selected. When I go to edit, I can't get to the center key. I have to go and select its rotate X, and then when I do that, I can get there. Okay, and so there's rotate X. I grab the controller, load the driver. Okay, I'm calling it the controller, but it's the driver now. And if I go here to foot roll and I highlight it, I can connect them together. There's the default value, so I'll hit OK and key it. And then I'm going to take the foot control, and we'll say the heel lift is going to be like a positive value, so I'll go to 10. I'll grab the heel lift group, and I'll take this and I'll rotate it in X. Something easy to get to again, so how about 60? Great, and I'll key it. Okay, and so I got that settled. We'll double check here. Does the foot roll work? 10 to 0. Okay, that works. Let's go down to 0. Great. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the heel control group, and I'm going to load that into the driven. Rotate X, foot roll, key. Take this and we'll go to the negative value. Whoop, -10. Grab the heel control group, and I'll go up to something that's easy to remember. something I'll probably never use, like negative 60 in this case. There, and I key it. And now, when I grab the foot control and I go from negative 10 to 10, I get a foot roll. Okay, and that's the hard one. First time you do it's hard. I'm going to have to do the same on the other leg. What is it? 15 minutes in. And, yeah, we'll call that done for now.